You can perhaps get them all fired up. Oh yeah, don't worry about that, I'll do that. Yeah. I know you like the lights off, whoever that was. I'd feel a wee bit creepy if I was beside you, but never mind. I'm miles away. Okay, so I've baked a little bit in the oven beforehand here, but generally speaking, my contours are not correct. And I guess a lot of you by now know that there is a contour that goes sort of somewhere up this direction up here. And those that got it will probably find that they got close to 2. Those that didn't probably find they won't get the full marks for the contours. The reason for that is that it is around the platform area. If you'd have made a similar mistake, which other students are doing on the other side of the wetlands, I'm kind of going, well, you know, that's not the end of the world, but anything around the platform area, which you knew the platform is going to be the main part of the assignment, is critical. So I sort of look at it like that's not correct what I've done there. I'm just showing you roughly. So when I'm marking, I am looking for that contour. It doesn't go to the wetlands. It actually misses the wetlands, so you have to break it just short of. But for the sake of this is only a demonstration. Okay, so whatever I'm doing here may end up being quite different to your drawing if you did do the contour correctly. So I'll just bring it back to where I had it, and we'll leave it as it is. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is work out how far to offset from the platform. How far am I going to take section AA? There isn't actually a distance. I'd love to be able to tell you 10.36 or 11.85, but there isn't a distance, and that distance really is up to you. And how do you make that decision? Well, you could just do a section from that end of the platform to that end and leave it like that if you thought that was giving me all the details, but in a minute you're going to see where this section cuts through, and I'm going to make a decision on where I'm going to take my section to. But that could then end up being revised because I may not fit it on my viewport. Now I'm not going to go and do the viewport. That's not going to demonstrate all that again. That's different. I mean, it's going to be a different scale. And when I mean a different scale, it's going to be blown up. So you may not get all that I'm expecting to get onto there. So you may need to shuffle it around a little bit. As a rule, you generally try and get the outlet structure in there, the platform in there, and most of the trees that might be affected that you can get in there. So after that, it's kind of a little bit surplus to how much you take. So I'm going to, just as a number, let me see, maybe offset 10 and see where that comes to. Okay, so there's a nice round number. As I said, it doesn't have to be 10. I'm then going to draw a line. I think I'll start doing this in yellow so you guys can see it. A line from the midpoint of here, mid-spelt mud, to perpendicular to over here. So that's the straight line on the section. Now I just go to the extend command here on the right hand side of my screen. That one. Click on the outer line first, enter, and then click on there to extend the section. So the first thing that I'm looking at here is that I probably need to extend this line a little bit more to hit the 44 contour so I can finish drawing my ground profile. Even if I cut it off, at least I'll feel like it's a bit more accurate. The second thing, I just cut through a bit of the tree and no more. So anyone that's done a tree that's got kind of funny branches and bits of holes in it, you might end up, you've twisted the tree in such a way that that's not going to show up. Therefore you don't have to draw it. Therefore, it's kind of an untrue section, because if you kept it as a circle, it would normally go through it. That's why I said no palm trees, because they come off with kind of branches, right? Secondly, it cuts a little bit through the shed. And I'm going to say this only once. 2.4 metres high is what you need to draw the shed at. And I'll measure that too. And it would be a good idea to put a dimension on it, if you didn't think about it. And it's only going to cut through a little corner of the shed. Let's call it a garden shed, so it's got a flat roof, makes it easy. So it's only going to cut through this little corner here. Here's another contour over here. I think I'd extend it to that contour and to that contour, and when I'm drawing it, it'll make it a lot easier to do. Looking at that section, it looks pretty straightforward. It's going to have a platform on it. I'm cutting through the pipe. This time, I need you to draw the pipe perfectly. In order to draw the pipe perfectly, you need to, I'm not going to draw it for you. Sorry about those filming. You need to draw up from where the pipe crosses. You need to put a line across here at the invert level of the pipe. How do you calculate the invert level? Well, go back to your learning outcomes from week 3. You know the invert level there, you know the invert level over there. You should be able to calculate the invert level exactly at that point on the centre line. Once you've got the invert level, the pipe is how much diameter? 300. We offset this line 300, and that gives us a perfect, well, it gives us a rectangle to draw the pipe in. If you want to know what the shape's going to look like, it's probably going to look a bit like a flat soccer ball, so it'll be a wee bit like this. Okay? You'll need to use the eclipse command. Where is that? Well, you could just type eclipse if you want to, but you could also go draw and come down and click on eclipse. You need to draw that perfectly, and for those that are thinking, oh, so that's all I do an eclipse? No, I want to see 2 important pieces of information about that pipe. What are the 2 important pieces of information about that pipe that I need to see? Diameter and invert level. It's actually 3 important pieces. So there's the diameter, the invert level, and the top of the pipe. Because in some cases the top of the pipe, I know there's a small skin on it, it's a plastic pipe, so I know it's about 6 mil as well, but the top of the pipe represents how far it is away from the platform, and in some cases it might be really close and you shouldn't be putting a building on it. In the case of a road, you shouldn't be driving big trucks on it, it'll just crush it, okay? So that top of the pipe is critical. That tells an engineer, water engineer, whether the design's okay or not. Now another thing is looking in this direction here. You are going to see a tree in the distance, right? And also an outlet structure in the distance. So you will have 3 days, because those that haven't drawn the outlet structure, and there's a lot of you, will need to interpret what that's going to look like based on my drawings. It won't be perfect because it's going to be on a slight angle as well. Okay, so from a simple cross section, you've now got a few things to calculate for you to mark. The other cross section, can you please do it in that direction, looking this way, not the other side, this way, because I want you to pick up the outlet structure also in the other cross section. So they're the 2 cross sections that you draw up with trees and everything on it. I'm going to demonstrate one of those, just the start of it, and you're going to see how remarkably easy it is compared with the long section. And then I'll move on and I'll do one more section through the platform, okay? And that's it. So I'm going to extend. Now it's a little bit hard here because I'm fishing in the dark a bit, but I'll see how we get on. Thanks very much to my friend that said, turn the lights out. Extend, I'm going to click on here and here, enter, and then extend the lines to those contours. Right, so the first thing we always do is we copy to the right hand side, and you should have done that anyway for your proposed plan. Please do not do everything on the first plane. I want you to preserve that drawing for the future. Secondly, we draw a line from here to here, and we erase some of this stuff in here. You're not going to need any of that. Won't need that. Won't need any of that. Probably don't need a lot of that either. Okay. Now we type the align command, A-L-I-G-N, enter from, I don't know what happened there, A-L-I-G-N, enter, select the objects to align, it'll be all of that, enter from that point there to that point there, from that point there to that point there, enter, and in for no. Alright, we're all ready to go. Now we draw a line from here up 44. If we keep pressing enter, it will invoke the same command. We do a line from there up 44.5. We do a line from there up 45. We do a line from there up 45.5. We do a line from there up 46. We do a line from that point there up 46.5. And this is also 46.5, this line here. So, I don't think I did the 0.5, I didn't do that again, so that's wrong. A line from there up 46.5. That's better. Okay, so it's flat along there, and then it suddenly goes down, 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 and that's the profile of the ground. Now I'm going to do a profile of the platform where it touches. So we do a line. Now, what's the level of the platform? The plumbers normally get this right. Try 45.4. So I'll do a line across from there, and I'll take the other one up, the same on this side. And so there's my platform there. So there's no smarty pants. There's things from Roger saying you stretch it. I'm not catching you out. It's just like doing a cross section last year for Ingrid or myself. It's just one to one. Now we'll do the batter slopes. We just draw them naturally. We can do a line from here across one and up one because it isn't cut, and you'll see that in a minute. I'll erase these two lines. And be careful, you do need to finish it, extend that into there. On this side, we do a line across two, down one, and back up to here. Erase these two lines, and finish it by trimming that off. Now you may have to extend this side or trim it, because my ground lines might be different to yours. This is not the answer I'm doing, this is just based on my contours. Okay, I'm going to do a save now because I got caught with my pants down last time. Not literally, but I basically got caught. Give it a different name, save as. Save as. Okay, now I'm going to draw over the top of this to get my square meterage, or area, sorry. So I do a P line from here to that point, back to here, back to here, and back to here. I list the P line, and I get an area of 2.9829. Control C, double click. Haha, gotcha this time. This is where it failed last time, okay? Luckily for me, I did say
Why did it do that?
yeah. If I knew that, I wouldn't be teaching I'd be teaching computers. It's just a cracking. Sorry, it's just a not top of the line computer. Yeah.
You get used to that for a couple of years.
For you, I'm at work, eh? Oh, okay. So, warning alert, when you get your first job, normally you get put on the worst quality computer because somebody else has gone and snatched the best one that the person who's resigned's got. Yeah. The best thing you can do for your mates at work just before you resign is order a new computer. Okay. 2.829. I'm not going to copy paste it this time. I'm going to write it because for some reason it was 2.829. So let's double click on this and go 2.829, and of course we go little m, then we right click and go symbols and go to square. You all knew that from last semester, right? Okay, I'm going to move that down here. Now this is what I want to see for all of your little wee stick cross sections. This one here, P line from here to here to here to there to there and back to there. List it. 2.8728. 2.873. Personally, I think with earthworks you shouldn't go any more than 1 or 2 decimal places, okay? So 1's okay, 2's okay, 3's starting to get too much. It's down to millimetres at that point for earthworks. It just doesn't worry about that.
Would that help with the long section as well?
Long section was a grade, that's different. Oh, you mean the numbers? They're 2 decimal places, yeah, for the numbers below, the levels.
Okay.
Levels are 2, grade is 3. Yeah. Okay, so in terms of this is the start of a beautiful thing. We're going to copy this along. Okay, and we're going to move this line and that line up. Well, let's say we move it up 2 meters. Okay, so what I've done is I've got another place here to take my section from. Okay? The good thing about moving it is the platform is still correct. So I'm going to delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, that, and this. Now you see what's happened? I've got the platform level stays correct. All ready to go for once I draw my ground profile. So if you keep copying it across and you move the platform up with this line here, I've deleted this line down here somehow. That should have moved by 2 meters. I did. I did. So the platform moved with that. See, the platform moved with that because the distance of the platform is, I'll prove it, offset 45.4. Okay? So the platform's all ready to go, and it's just a case of drawing a line again from here up 46.5, from here up 46.5 also. No, I'll put something else on these up. Not sure what went wrong there, we'll do it again. A line from here up 46.5. A line from here up 46. And a line from here up 45.5, if I can click on it. A line from here up 45. A line from here up 40. 44.5, and finally a line from here up 44. Now we do our line of ground coming down like this. You can see we're still in a bit of cut. Now we're into quite a bit more fill. Finish this off. Before we trimmed it, now it's an extend, and up here we need to trim it off, which means there'll be a slightly less amount of cut. And then we do our P line again, we do that in white. List it. 2.461. And do another P line here. So that's how quickly we can do our little sketches to work out our areas. So I want 8 or 9 of those, please. 9 works out quite evenly, 3.31, 3.32. Okay, so that's one. If we go along here, we'll see another one, and so on. So I would like to see you do that in 9 different positions. You will need to do your butterfly wings on there first. And you will need to do the butterfly wings, you're going to need 0.2 contours, which is what you should be getting on with right now as we walk around. I'm happy to help and assist with the 0.2 contours. I'm happy to help with any detail you might ask about to put on section A and section B, but I'm not going to help with the design contours and doing the butterfly wings. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to walk around it on now. Are you got a general question?
Okay. Why do we move it up? What is the reason of moving?
Because we've done one section over here, which is through the middle of the platform, and in order to, so if I was going to do another one, for example, I'll move over here. Say I wanted the section to be offset, say 4 up, right? So I would move that line plus all of that up 4. So see my new line is right on the edge of the platform. I'll delete that. I'll keep that line. What I won't delete is the platform, because it's in exactly the same location coming up each time you do your section. But what I have to delete is the ground lines, because that has to be redrawn. keep the batter slopes on there. I actually forgot to keep that one on, so I'll go along one and up one and back down here, getting ready to put the batter slopes on. What you'll find is that you might end up with just fill, like we did on the long section. So the batter slope will come back down the other way at 2 to 1. Right? So I did that just to save myself the step of working out where the platform goes each time. Don't have to, you can start and draw it again from the beginning. Right? Right, well that's the end of that. And you can turn your cameras off now.